Hello, my name is Joel and welcome back to my YouTube channel Shared Deck. Today, I'm doing a Commander Deck Tech for General Kudro of Drannith. So this deck, as you can tell, it's a black and white human tribal deck. Pretty straightforward. It just tries to overwhelm your opponents with humans and then pump them up, deal massive amounts of damage, and then hopefully that'll be enough to win you the game. So with that, let's talk about General Kudro of Drannith. It's 3 to cast. First ability, other humans you control gets +1/+1, which is very good. Pumps our army. Then the next one is whenever General Kudro or another human enters the battlefield under your control, you get to exile a card from your opponent's graveyard, which is Graveyard Hate, which is again very good in Commander. So whenever they try to take a big creature from their graveyard, so they won't be able to reanimate it, or an instant or sorcery that you don't want them to bring back to your hand. So very good. And then the next one is you pay 2, sacrifice 2 humans, destroy target creature, power 4 or greater. Removal, but you have to sacrifice 2 humans. So we do have a little bit of graveyard recursion to help out with that. So with that, let's move on to the alternate commanders that I have. So we got Ravos the Soul Tender, and then Timnon the Weaver. So if I'm going to be using these two, right there, so it'll be a little bit centered. Yeah. So if I'm using Timna and Ravos, it's a little bit more versatile. Honestly, I think having these two together, using Timna and Ravos, I have a better time playing the deck. But you don't get the sacrifice to him, the removal ability. So, and then the pump ability is a little bit overcosted, but you do have graveyard recursion for Ravos. And Timna, you get a little bit of card advantage. If you get to, I think you have to attack. Yeah, that word dealt combat damage, so you have to deal combat damage to a player. So it does give you a little bit of card advantage. So with that, if you partner those two up, that's pretty good. So with that, let's take those out. Put it a little bit centered again. All right, sweet. So we're here in the section that we'll be talking about the creatures or the humans in the deck. Again, this is pretty straightforward. This is in no particular order. So we got Mother of Runes, Talia, Heretic Cathar. This will set back our opponent's blockers or their lands, so which is good. Just slows them down. Sarah Ascendant, very good in the early game if you have 30 or more life. Not so good if you have less than 30 life, but it's still good. Worst comes to worst, it could be fodder for General Kudro. Devout Chaplain, artifact and enchantment removal. So Mentor of the Week, card draw, conditional card draw. So most of our creatures do have a power of 2 or less. So just good for this deck for Mentor of the Week. So Verge Rangers. So if we're running behind the lands, this will let us catch up somewhat. So it will not let us get ahead of the land count, but it will let us at least catch up for it. So it's good. Courageous Outrider. So this is kind of like a card selection. So whenever it comes into play, you look at the top 4 cards, and if you reveal a human, you put it into your hand, which is very good. Demon's Disciple, removal. If for some reason we have a hexproof indestructible creature, then at least we have an out for it. Grand Abolisher, Knight of the White Orchid. So if we are again behind the lands, this will let us catch up. Mikaeus the Lunarch, gives a +1/+1 counter on all our creatures, which is nice. Priest of the Forgotten Gods. So this is kind of a card advantage, somewhat, because you sacrifice 2 creatures. Any number of target player each loses 2 life and sacrifice a creature, and you add 2 black mana and draw a card. So Basri's Lieutenant. So we do have a couple of creatures that when they die, they gives you back a token. So at least you get some residual value. So we got Basri's Lieutenant. So we have a minor +1/+1 counter team on this deck too. So Militia Bugler, this is pretty much like the same as Courageous Outrider. It's card selection, but the only condition is, yeah, it has to be a creature with power 2 or less, which is, again, that is pretty much like most of my creatures in my deck. Urza of Enforcer. So this is one of those cards that when it dies, it gives you a token, which is good. And also kind of deters them from attacking you because it has Dead Touch. So Metallic Mimic. So since there's not a whole lot of human lords that gives out +1/+1 counter to other humans you control. So you have to make do what you can. So Metallic Mimic is very good in that aspect. So obviously when it comes into play, you name humans. So whenever a human comes into play, puts a +1/+1 counter on it, which is very good. Sacred Necromancer. So whenever a human or itself dies, you get a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Some of that residual value. And then Precinct Captain. Whenever it deals combat damage, you put a soldier token. So here, Species Specialist. Excuse me, sorry. We got Species Specialist. So whenever it enters the battlefield, obviously you're going to be saying humans. So we do have a little bit of ways, because the commander itself, it tells you to sacrifice 2 humans to destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. So this would kind of give us some of those cards back, a little bit of card advantage. So we get to remove a creature, and at the same note, we get to draw 2 cards. Just not bad. Dark Confidant. I mean, it's card draw. Victory's Envoy. If it survives for the upkeep, it gives a +1/+1 counter on each of our creatures. Benelish Marshal. All our creatures gets +1/+1, which is good. Alright, Silverbait Paladin. Keeper of the Horde. Pretty much the same as Verge Rangers. If you're behind in lands, it will let you catch up in the form of basic planes. But if you're behind in creatures, if for some reason we are behind in creatures, it will let us catch up too. So just nice. Champion of Parish. What kind of human deck would it be without a Champion of the Parish? Interpret Hero. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Tempered Veteran. Like I was saying earlier, it has a minor theme of +1/+1 counters on it. So this is very good. Obviously the second ability is very overcosted, but the first ability is pretty okay. Alright, so we got Absent Falconer. So if our creatures have a +1/+1 counter, it has flying. I will put the other white creature that is like that. I think it's Absent Battle Priest, but that one instead gives lifelink, which is very good. For some reason, I don't have it in my collection, so that is a good addition. If you have it, add it. Blade Crafter, removal. Alright. Lunar Aspirant. This gives a +1/+1 counter to a creature you control, so which is good. Every upkeep. Oh, I'm sorry. At the beginning of combat on your turn. So Boros Elite. Pretty much a creature that loves to attack. Zulaport Cutthroat. Alright, Adaptive Automaton. Get close. And Talia's Lieutenant. Alright, Skirk's. I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher this. Skirk's Dag Flare. It's removal. Sacrifice a human. Destroy target creature. Yeah. Alright, so we're here in my only board wipe, which is Black Sun Zenith. So it's through here. So we got Cathars Crusade, Unbreakable Formation, protects our creatures. It's nice. Oh, here at the equipment package, so we got Lightning Greaves, Heirloom Blade, Stoneforge Masterworks. So if we do have a huge amount of humans in the battlefield, this will definitely work. And there's whatever secondary job that they may have. So we have a huge assortment of clerics, rogues, warriors, scouts. So that also counts too. Swiftfoot Boots. We're here at the single target removal, so we'll breeze through this real quick. So we got Curtain's Call, Anguish Unmaking, Fracture, Swords of Plowshares, Vindicate, Spark, Utter End, and then we got Angelic Overseer. It's a very good creature if you have a human in play. If you don't, then it's pretty mediocre. Some card advantage, well, card draw, Phyrexian Arena, Vanquisher's Banner, which would let us draw a card to cast a human, and Icon of Ancestry. So again, since we don't have a lot of ways to pump our army, this will very be good. And on the same note, it will also give us some card advantage or card draw. Alright, we are here at the ramp section, so we got Wayfarer's Bauble, Soul Ring, Talisman of Hierarchy, Oars of Signet, Commander Spear, Arcane Signet, Sword of the Animus, Solemn Simulacrum, and Myriad Landscape. Alright, we're now here at the land section. So we're going to breeze through this real quick. I mean, obviously lands are very important. So, Cavern of Souls, Cave of Kiolos, Defeated Heath, Silent Clearing, Godless Shrine, Temple of Silence, Concealed Courtyard, Oars of Basilica, Vault of Champions, a Shambling Vent, an Isolated Chapel, and pretty much like another fetch. So Prismatic Vista and Fabled Passage. So if you also have one of the pathway lands from either from Kaldheim, or I don't remember if it was printed in Kaldheim, the black and white pathway lands is a very good addition too. I just don't prefer to play those cards. So Marsh Flats and Vault of the Archangel. We got Command Tower. We got New Benalia, Bojuka Bug, a little bit of utility in Mire, Mortuary Mire, and Urbog, Tome of Yalmat, which makes all our land swamps, which is pretty much sets us up for our black sources. Then Shine Shadow Snarl, and then we have 1, 2, 3. Let's get a little closer. 4, 5, 6 swamps, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 planes. So with that concludes our Commander Deck Tech for General Kudro of Drannith. Hope you enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. Alright, thank you. Bye.